everybody have a handout, either a blue one or a white one, so you ran out and had to make copies? Okay, great. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So this is gonna be very informal, so if you have questions or comments, like while I'm talking, just, raise your hand, shout them out, whatever, I'm pretty cool. But welcome today. My name is Jasmine Scott. I am the school psychology intern working with Allie. And I'll give you a little bit more of my background as I go along in the presentation. So as we get started, who can relate to at least one of these different things that I have listed? So if you can't see it, it has single parent home, low income family, struggle with self-esteem, father in and out of your life, searching for love, family members in jail who abuse drugs, who are abusive, didn't go to college or graduate high school, deal with some type of mental illness, or have had children as teens. So raise your hand if you can relate to at least one of those things. That's just about most of us. Okay. So if you haven't figured it out yet, this list pretty much represents me and my background. Now, the next slide is going to have a picture of me when I was a child, so please do not laugh. Just a warning. So, as I mentioned, that represents me. I grew up in a single-parent home in a low-income neighborhood. Mother received government assistance. My father was in the Army and traveled for his jobs. He was very inconsistent in how we were in our relationship. I've had an uncle who's been in jail for drug-related stuff, another uncle who was actually burned for drug-related stuff, people who were abusive, my cousins who didn't graduate high school and had kids. So there's all of that stuff that you saw on that list represents me in some way. But that kind of goes into the presentation for today. So if you saw the flyer, it talks about overcoming your past, but embracing your story. So even though your past may have had some hurdles, some things you had to kind of get through, how can we still overcome that and still move forward? So as far as the pictures and a little bit more about me, I'm originally from Akron, Ohio, and if any of you are basketball fans, you may know of someone else from Akron, Ohio. Anyone? Any takers? What? LeBron James, maybe? No? Nobody knew that? Okay. So then that completely kills my next point, which is supposed to be so fascinating, because I have this nifty Just a Kid from Akron shirt that, was his quote. And then I have this nifty picture of us when we were in high school, because I've known him since then. But it's some pictures of me when I graduated high school, graduated with my bachelor's, graduated with my master's, because in the midst of everything that I mentioned on that first slide, school was the one thing that I was really good at. So my friends and my family would tend to call me a nerd, and I'm okay with that. But I liked school, so that was the one thing where I knew I would do good. I may struggle in other areas, but school was it for me. Oh, now I'm seeing my mom up there in the corner. We're gonna be cute with our matching clothes. So again, the topic of pretty much the rest of this presentation, like I said, is overcoming your past and embracing your story. And your handouts have the spaces for you to kind of fill in those blanks. But basically, like I said, how are we going to use your story to not only help yourself, but help others? So I'm using everything that I've been through in my life to not only push myself forward, but then to share my story with others and help them and encourage them. So I'm going to watch a quick little snippet here. So any thoughts on the video before I move forward? Yes.
I really like that. And I feel like it's very good. There's a lot of people that kind of victimize themselves and let their past influence their future actions.
Good point. Yes.
To add on what Raymond said, well, my dad's an alcoholic, and my sister said it comes to the point where you can't blame your father's decisions for yours.
Very true. Any other thoughts? So moving into, and this is like I said on your worksheet, so you can fill this in if you would like to. So overcoming your past. Past stands for perspective, attitude, support, and trials. So perspective, very much like that video shows, you have two kids who were raised in the same home, saw the same father who was an alcoholic, and they decided to have different views on that and go different routes. One, continued down that same alcoholic path, the other chose not to. It's all about how you see your situation. You may be in a very risky or hurtful situation, but your perspective and how you deal with that and how you see it is gonna make all the difference. Your attitude. Again, it kind of goes along with perspective. Your attitude, you could be positive about whatever you're doing with your life. Okay, I'm not gonna let this hold me back. I'm not gonna allow this to, keep me stuck in a situation. For me, when it came to, my background being in a single parent home and low income, I could have stayed in that same pattern of behavior. I could have had a child early and, stayed in that same cycle, but I chose to have a positive attitude and try to pursue something more than, what was in my situation at the time. Support. Some of you may not see it, but like being somewhere like, here at Valley, you have a support system. The people here, people who are working here, I'm pretty sure could work somewhere else if they wanted to. The pay is pretty much the same in Jordan, but they choose to be here to work with you. So that's a support system for making sure that you take advantage of the people who are supporting you and in your circle. And trials. How many of you have tried things over and over again? You may have failed the first time, but you kept trying. No, you all were successful the first time. No. Couple hands. So, try to give up. Well, but you're trying though. So yeah. So it's all about trying. You're not necessarily giving up on the first time, but keep going. It's a process. The quote says that if at first you don't succeed, try again. No last again. Embracing your story. So that's the other side of this. How do we take our past and move forward so that we're having, a story to share with other people? First off, S is for surviving. You have survived whatever you've been through because you're here. You may still be going through some situations, but ultimately you're surviving it because you're here to be able to tell your story, if you chose to do so. Testimony, for me, I grew up in church, so if you grew up in church, you may know having testimony service where people share how they got through something and were able to overcome something. So you have a story to share and a testimony to share with other people to encourage them to overcome their situations and push through. Opportunities. School is an opportunity for you to do better. Having a job is an opportunity for you to do better. So taking every opportunity that's given to you and taking heed of that and just moving forward and just definitely trying to gain everything out of the opportunities that are given to you. Restoration. It kind of goes back to the support. At a point, you have to kind of restore yourself and allow yourself to get stuck. Not allow yourself to get stuck in your past, and you have to restore those that hurt you have, those negative situations you've been in, and restore yourself to be able to then move forward and share with other people. And then just yearning for why. And I was really stretching with this because you know how hard it is to find why words make sense with all this. But yearning, you're longing for something. What are you longing for your future? What are you striving for to have more of in the future and moving forward? So those are the words that go in your nifty handout that I gave you. So how do you begin this process? And the two main words that are on the previous slide were support and restoration. In order to really begin the process of moving forward and overcoming your past, you have to get some type of support system to kind of help you. Some people think they can do it by themselves and just kind of push through life, alone. but you need somebody with you, at least one other person to kind of help you, moving along on your journey. One thing that you have here that you may not have been aware of, Allie does like support groups here during Power Hour, so that could be a resource for you to use while you're here. And bonus point, you get stamps on your little Power Hour card, so that's like points towards your quarter credit that you get. So you're kind of getting two positives there. You're getting the stamp plus some great skills to help support and restore your life. So if you just think for a second, like how can we help you here at Valley? Outside of just having the support group, what else could we do here to support you, not only with your education, but just other areas of your life? Yes. So if you're feeling unsafe, you can definitely come and talk to us and have this, safe place here. Anybody else? How can we here at the school kind of help you? Yes.
I feel like it's a positive environment, not just for learning, but a place for friends.
Yes. So definitely a positive environment. One thing that I can appreciate about this school is that all of you are very different and unique in your own way. And I love that about this school. It's like the population is just so very diverse, and you all bring your own individuality to the school, and it's like absolutely great. And you all have your own individual stories of what brought you here, but it's nice to just see you all here and pushing towards your goals of graduating and stuff like that. So are there any questions? That's gonna stand for your life. Yes, ma'am.
What was the hardest thing for you to overcome in your life?
Hardest thing for me to overcome in my life? The hardest thing for me would probably be dealing with my dad. Him being inconsistent. He was a very financial parent. So he would take care of stuff financially, but when it came to the emotional stuff, he was horrible. And luckily, I was able to talk to him now that I'm older, and we've been able to talk through that. So we're in a good place now. But growing up, I kind of looked for that attention in relationships or either friends or boyfriends. I just wanted somebody to love me, and it was never enough because it was never my dad. So that was probably my biggest struggle, definitely through high school and college. Any other questions? So I actually came to Utah for my internship. So I'm working on my PhD in school psychology. So I'll be a nice school psychologist like Allie here, and this is where I ended up for internship. So it's very different than where I'm from, but I like it. I like it. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, she asked if I was gonna leave Utah when I finished internship. It probably, my family is still in Ohio. My boyfriend is in Tennessee, so yeah, I'll probably not be. I'll probably stay here. Yes. He's in Memphis. Yes. A year. So I moved out here in July, and then I work at Silvercrest. So that's like my elementary school. So we finished school June 30th. It's a great school. That's it, her name. So before you leave, Allie has some little quarter pieces of paper. So what I want you to do is, so as I mentioned, Allie does the support groups during Power Hour. It is very easy for us to tell you what groups we're going to offer, but it'll be so much more meaningful if you guys gave us suggestions on what would benefit you. So just take a minute to kind of fill this out, and then also Tell me at least one thing you kind of got out of the session today. And then just you get the documents off in the table, and we'll make sure you get your stamps.
Double step, Dave, so don't go too fast. Yeah, go slow. Make sure you get your name stamp.
No.
You too. Seriously, I'll give you extra stamps. Girls cluster, extra. You got it. If you want one more, please get another one. You don't have boys or girls, you get one. Yeah, you get your stamp. I know you need stamps. All over the place. I already got you. Is it done? It's done. Oh, good. Exactly. Okay, make sure it's all filled out, go to the office and get your stamp.
Oh.
See? Look here. If you stamp him up. Thanks for showing up.
That's why he wants to.
You got it, thank you. They were really for your own sort of. Oh, she did. You're good? Well, what would y'all like? Oh, go ahead and give me a card.
Did you guys fill out one of these?
I'm gonna give you.
The little one I walked up and handed out.
So you know how to make appointments? Thank you.
That's key, just for you to have.
Is that?
I was saying some important stuff today, that's like.
Oh, sweetie, you might want to leave your feedback, so thank you.
For that.
Put your name in. Look at you. So let me give you one too. Make sure you put your name on that.
Yeah, put your
And
name
bring
on
it
these
into
cards,
the
because if
office.
you lose them, somebody
What is
else
this?
will get the
Here, I'll
electric credit. Thanks, you guys.
Do you have a stamp
Thank
card?
you. Did you guys enter the drawing?
Right. It's Merry Christmas time.
Hey, that's a bad attitude.
You never know, girl.
If Suzanne can win,
If you were
can.
to win, Jacqueline, what would you like it to be? A gift card from what's your favorite book? Do you have one? No, I don't, but I'm gonna deliver it to her tomorrow. No, I'll give you one right now. Would you like these?
If you don't mind.
Subway?
Those basically like the same thing.
What do you like? Oh, come on. You coffee drinker? Subway?
That's what you find.
Do you like McDonald's? Do you like Taco Bell? Which one? Beans and fruit? If you want to come with me, we'll get you one. Come on. Yes! Jacqueline, you win, girl.
Yeah.
So you stand
Him? Yes, I
Did you?
will.
I didn't do the drawing, I should have did that while we were here.
No, we'll do it. Don't worry. I'll deliver it tomorrow.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you make announcements over the thingy?
sure.
Okay.
Say
Well, they're
no.
probably gone. They're probably like, some of them probably morning.
I'll get Sharon to say something at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
You put a name on
No,
it?
you don't have to. You don't have to. It was just extra for the speech. I already saved it.
Jasmine, do people return this to you?
My bad.
Joanna and I made a deal with him.
You know, he's like, when is today? Cause,
I
you know,
gotta
come up.
get my stuff done.
We're ready
Making
for
a
you.
come us, man.
You know what? You put forth the effort, we put forth the effort, everybody wins.
Yep.
And thank you for everything.
Thank you.
No, you,